Hi, my name is Fope Adeola and this is my editorial. A wise man once said that the purpose of evil in the world is that we might appreciate good. His statement, I suppose, is born from the logical reasoning that we could not understand beauty if there was no disorder, health if there was no pain, taste without blandness, light without darkness, life without death. To borrow the words of one great lion, Mufasa, everything exists in a delicate balance. Good and evil exist together, yin and yang, and we cannot seem to understand one without the other. One thing we definitely cannot appreciate without its counterpart is freedom. Freedom, an old but evergreen concept that perpetually reinvents itself every time it is redefined in a new context. From the little boy denied outdoor play to the 99-year-old woman restrained from death. Keeping with my analogy, without the constraints and freedom, we wouldn't comprehend it. Without grasping the idea of being detained in the house, hindered from the joy of nature's elements and the silliness and laughter of peers, and without grasping the idea of being bound to this wicked world at the age of 99, restrained from the painless pleasures of glorious heaven, freedom cannot be understood. Yet, the yearning for freedom is a universal human experience. In fact, one could argue from the Christian perspective that the very act that created the ideas of good and evil was an act towards freedom that freedom itself allowed, albeit inspired by a lie. Man rebelled against God so he wouldn't be subject to God, and God did not stop him. Without diving into the philosophy or theology of free will, it is clear that man is not a stranger to this concept, freedom. Freedom has been and continues to be the subject of wars, immense sacrifices, and global debates. Freedom, it is every man's ultimate desire. It is to be autonomous, unbound, uncontrolled, unchained. However, is it possible that freedom itself could be a prison, a cage that keeps one from progression? Could it be that sometimes the sentiment we crave for in having no limitation can itself be a limitation, or at least lead to one? In many ways, the answer to that question is yes. Take the teenage boy who hates the 7 p.m. curfew his father declared in his home. He stays out late till midnight most nights, hanging with the wrong crowd. He is unable to concentrate in school because he is not on great terms with his father, and the activities he engages in leave him emptier each time. Months go by, he flunks out of school with bad grades. He dives even deeper with the wrong crowd, thinking each time, surely I'll feel loved the next time we get high together, or the next time we'll take multiple girls home after a wild party. Soon, he's 40, can't get off the high, can't stop jumping in bed with multiple girls. He's got no family, no purpose, nothing he finds fulfillment in. He's trapped, caged, bound. I do not know this teenager because I made him up, but I do believe there are real life versions of him. To them, being able to do whatever they want, however they want, is freedom. Sadly, what they often end up with are prisons with stronger walls and bars ones they couldn't easily choose to break out from. To these ones, giving in to whatever they find pleasurable is freedom. These ones are blind to the truth that all the freedom they really want is on the other side of the discipline they reject today. In essence, what does not look like freedom in one moment can indeed lead to or be freedom, as long as choice remains. This is, in truth, the best way to define freedom, the ability to choose. For without choice, one isn't really free. However, it is clear from my analogy that while we may be free to choose whatever we want in one moment, We may not be able to choose in another moment because of the consequences of the choices that came before. Some have put it differently. They say there is freedom of choice, but no freedom from the consequences of choice. I do not know if he is the originator of this idea, but Will Smith once said, "Self-discipline is the best form of self-love." And while he and his family haven't been the perfect models of this idea, the crux of it remains true, that the limits we choose to place on ourselves, though at the time may seem like prisons, are in fact the wings that give us flight when it most matters, allowing us to enjoy that sensation of freedom that we truly desire in all its glory. All of that said, it would be silly of me to not return to some of the theology I avoided in the beginning. While human beings find themselves in this constant struggle for freedom, the God who allowed the very first act of freedom set up a system to escape that struggle. He is a saving grace, and his name is Jesus Christ. While myself and our writers have attempted to approach the theme freedom from various perspectives as creatively as possible, and while we want our readers entertained, enlightened, brought to tears, laughing, etc., the truth remains, there really is no true freedom without Jesus Christ. Enjoy.